In this guided reading lesson, the teacher sets the context by exploring a key word in the passage. Using visuals and a word web, she helps the students to understand the multiple meanings of the word crane. They use their prior knowledge of the features of a fable to predict the use of crane in the story. While students read the passage silently, the teacher touches base with individuals. They review reading goals, apply strategies to the reading of the passage, and set new goals. The children then reconvene for a guided reading lesson that further clarifies vocabulary and identifies the author's purpose.
So we're going to be working on with a fable. That's what we've been doing a lot of work with the last few days on fables. And let's just review for a minute. What are the characteristics of a fable? Back. I see some people looking at the chart. That's a really good strategy when you're stuck. Jason?
The characteristics of a fable is like a person is like mean to someone, and then like in the end he learns a lesson.
Thank you. So there's sometimes a lesson or a moral of the story at the end of a fable. Thank you. So how about the characters? What kind of characters can we expect?
Animals.
Maybe some animals, because they're often animals. And remember, sometimes the characteristics are clever, just like this morning, or very foolish. Today, we're going to be reading another fable, but there's a word that I want to clarify before we start, because it will help us better understand what's happening in the fable. Okay? Here's a word. Let's read that word. What do you think that crane? How did you know it was crane and not crayon?
Because the E with the A say its name.
That's right. So the sneaky E on the end makes the A say its own name, right? So crane. But there's a lot of different kinds of cranes. I want you to go into your schema, open up that file that says crane. What kinds of cranes are you familiar with? Sharon, what do you think?
The cranes that like pick up stuff.
Oh, the cranes that pick things up. Do you mean like when they're doing construction and building things? So do you mean this kind of a crane?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this kind of a crane is used for construction. And what they do is they pick up big heavy things and swing them over as the building gets taller and taller and taller. Any other cranes that you're familiar with? If I do this with my neck, we're looking up. That's also called to crane your neck. You might do this when you're drinking a really nice cold drink on a hot summer's day. Let's see this person craning their neck. Can you show me craning your neck? That's an action word, a verb, to crane. But there's another kind of crane as well. This is also a crane. What kind of animal do you think that might be?
A kind of bird?
Yeah, kind of bird. Good job. So we have a bird. Here we have is an action word, to crane your neck. So now here's a thinking question for you. If we're going to read a fable, I'm wondering which kind of crane you might expect to read about. A construction crane, someone craning their neck, or the bird named a crane. What do you think, Sharon?
A bird.
Why are you thinking a bird?
Because some fables use animals as the characters.
Is that what you were thinking over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. We know that often in fables we can expect to find the characters being animals. So we're thinking maybe the crane in our story might be a bird. And guess what? You're right. Good thinking. So let's take a look. We have a really short text today. It's called The Peacock and a Crane. You know what a peacock is?
Yeah.
It's those birds with beautiful feathers. There's a great picture of one. Okay. So take a moment. If we could move into a circle. Okay. Do a little picture walk through.
There's only one page.
So what are you thinking right now? Any ideas just from the pictures what this might be about? Are you?
Yeah. see that the part over here is showing off the crane over here that's in the water.
So Ayub is thinking maybe the peacock is showing off. What makes you think that? Is there a clue that gives you that
All
idea?
the feathers are up and it looks like if he's laughing at the other one.
Thank you.
I think the peacock might be angry because he looks like he's yelling.
Thank you. So inside here. Okay, Jason, can you turn inside for a moment, please? Thank you. The peacock looks like he's yelling. Okay. So I think there's going to be some kind of a conflict between the peacock and the crane. And at the end, we can expect to find a moral. So as you're thinking, put your thinking caps on. Okay. You're going to be thinking about maybe what the moral of the story is or what the characters are like. So I'm going to let you read on your own. Okay, I'm going to read with Ayub. And you can spread anywhere on the carpet where you're comfortable. We'll come back together when we're done. Okay, so let's review your... Yeah. So let's review your goals. What were you good at last time? What were we doing really well?
You read each word without skipping any.
Thank you. And then we were going to work on rereading, right? Skipping a word and coming back at the end of a sentence, because sometimes the sentence helps to give us clues, right? So come sit quite close to me.
Peacock through. He was the most beautiful bird in the world.
Okay, let's stop and let's go back. Kind of looks like through, but let's try that again. A peacock thought.
He and all day showing off his feathers. One day a crane landed at the pond. No nearby the two fish for frogs. When the peacock saw the crane, he started to brag.
Let's try that one again. That's a hard word. Can you find any parts that you know? Find any sounds that you know?
The AR.
The AR, okay.
Air.
So let's block it. Where is it? Okay, par. Aid. So put it back to it together. Slide them. Parade.
The back and forth, showing off his beautiful feathers. But the crane just kept on fishing. The peacock made loud noises. He tried everything he could think of to get the crane to look at him, but the crane was too busy fishing for frogs.
Okay, good. Let's stop and check for understanding. Can you retell what you just read?
This verse tried to show off to the other one about his wings, but he won't look at the wings. He's just looking for the frogs. So I think he's going to yell at him so that he would look to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. I noticed you doing something really regularly. You were doing a lot more self-correcting. Did you notice that? What were you thinking in your head?
I was thinking like if it made sense, if the sentence made sense, and if it didn't, I would go back and try it again.
That's a really big improvement, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how's that working for you?
Better.
It's working better. So off you go. You can go and read on your rest on your own now. Good job. So before we talk about share our thinking, let's go to a couple little tricky parts of the text. So let's go back to page 1, and let's go to the third paragraph. Let's read that one together. Are you with me? Yeah. It says, when the peacock saw the crane, he started to parade back and forth, showing off his beautiful feathers. What do you think that might mean if he's parading? I know what a parade is, right? When a bunch of people walk down the street. What do you think it might mean if the peacock is parading? Hanson?
Walking front and then that.
That's right, sort of walking in a show-off kind of way.
Like just one peacock doing walk back and forth.
Walking back and forth. Thank you.
Maybe walking back and forth to them, he would be able to see, if he was to look up, he'd be able to see wherever he is.
Thank you. Let's go to where he calls the crane ordinary. Do you remember reading that part?
Yeah, right here.
Good detective work. Let's go to page 3. And he's yelling at the crane, isn't he? He's sort of giving a bunch of put downs. And he says, "Yoo-hoo, crane, what is it like to be so ordinary?" What do you think that might mean? If he's using it, I don't think he's saying it in a nice way. It sounds like he's teasing. What do you think ordinary might mean?
Maybe ugly.
Maybe ugly? Possibly. Or
Just plain.
just plain? Jason, do you have any ideas?
Original.
Original? Because it sort of looks like original, doesn't it?
Normal.
Just normal. So we have original, we have normal, we have plain, we have, what did you say again?
I said that maybe he's ugly.
Maybe ugly. Did you see any inferences about what that word
Same
might
thing.
mean? Same thing. So let's try. Let's read that sentence together. "Yoo-hoo, crane, what is it like to be so ordinary?" yelled the peacock. Yeah, it does sort of sound like it's not a very positive thing he's saying to the crane.
I think he's him ugly was because he has all the different colors on him, and he just has dull gray leaves and feathers on him.
So you're using the pictures to compare. That's good thinking.
It's like normal because it's like plain or
Plain. And it does actually mean plain. It means very plain compared to all the fancy feathers. All right, so now that we've clarified some of that, let's hear your thinking. What are you thinking about? Can we make some inferences about what the crane is like? Or maybe what the peacock is like? Take a minute to think about what you might like to make an inference about. In your head. So what are you thinking, Jason? Can we look at the
The
speakers,
peacock is really mean, and the crane is like nice. And in the end, like he says, in the end it says, all things are special in one way.
Thank you. Any sharing, Anson? What are you thinking?
I think the crane is giving a poke down.
He's feeling put down by the peacock. What makes you, can you support your inference?
Because the peacock is showing off and saying that he's just plain and normal, not pretty as him.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to do some more work with this tomorrow together. Okay, tomorrow we're going to fill in a graphic organizer that helps us really focus our inferences. I think you did some good thinking today.